welcome back to my channel. My name is Nola. We're going to hop right into this video. Now, the first step to achieving a flawless, flat, beautiful install is to make sure that your braid down is on point. Here, I'm just carving out my leave out. You want to make sure that you leave enough hair out to cover your wefts. I know it looks like I didn't leave enough hair out, but you guys will see towards the end of the video that I left the right amount of hair. Now, once you carve out your leave out, you're going to section off a little piece of hair around your leave out. This is going to be for the two braids that are going to go around your leave out for that top track. You want to make sure that these braids are super skinny so that when you lay that top track, it is like completely flat. Now, once you do the two braids, you're going to have the braids meet in the middle, and towards the end of the braid down, you guys will see how I cross those braids over to create a full circle around my leave out. No gaps, no humps, lumps, or anything.
If I wasn't with somebody, if we gotta hide it, what's the point of trying? I ain't just your friend, no, what's the point of lying? Trying to sell a story, ain't nobody buying. Look me in my eyes, don't that feel nice? Why should it end? Baby, I could've been him or the your friend. Just say where to make a trip, baby, make a wish, be the one I wish. Should've been shoulda, coulda, would have been.
Right, so now that we have the leave out the way, let's focus on the rest of the braid down. So you're gonna braid about 40. You're going to braid about 14 to 18 braids. The first two braids, you're going to have them meet at any point in the back. This is so that you won't have that big hump in the back and you'll be able to like lift your hair up and, you know, do a ponytail without it being super lumpy back there. So this is the part that I was talking about when I was saying I was going to have the top braids cross over so that you can have like that U around your leave out. So yeah, this is basically what I was talking about. So as I was doing this braid down, I did alternate from side to side. So I'll do like two braids on the left, two braids on the right, and just go back and forth. And then I would join the braids in the back like one by one. And then I was left with like two braids in like two big braids in the back, and so I just crossed the braids over to make sure that it was flat and stitched it. So that was basically it for the braid down. At the beginning of the track, you want to make sure that the needle is going through the wefts and not just the hair, at least for the first 2 or 3 stitches, because you want to make sure that the tracks, you know, are secure and it's not going anywhere. So for the first 2 or 3 stitches, make sure that the needle is going through the braid, through the net, and through the track part, the weft part. And then once your tracks are secure, then you could begin to sew through the hair. And you can just loop the threaded needle around the tracks like so. Me personally, I prefer to just loop the thread and needle around the track instead of trying to lock every single stitch, because I feel like when I loop my thread and needle around the track, it makes my thread last longer, so I don't have to constantly thread the needle all the time. So when I loop it, it just, you know, I have more length to my thread. Also, the takedown process is a breeze when you just loop the stitches instead of trying to lock every single stitch. Like, you just grab the thread and pull it out and the tracks just slide out. Like, I absolutely love it. So if you're wondering like how to stitch, should I lock every stitch, should I just loop it, it really doesn't matter. But when I loop the tracks, me personally, I find it easier and the thread lasts longer and the takedown process is a lot smoother.
Let's get it from on that one. at the door. So when you step inside, jump on the floor. Let's get it crunk up on up in this dancery. We got y'all moving, now you're focused, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hateration, moderation in this dancery. Let's get it percolated, clock it waiting, so just dance for me. Don't need no haters. We're just trying to love one another. We just want y'all to have a good time. No more drama in your life. Work real hard to make a dime. If you got me, your problem not mine. Be all happy as outside. We gon' celebrate all night. Let's have fun tonight, no fight. Turn that strange back way up high. Making you dance all night and I got some real heat for you this time. Doesn't matter if you're white or black. Let's get crunk 'cause Mary's back. Let's get it crunk.
Shout out to Queen Weave Beauty. I am using their bundles to do this install. This is their light Yaki hair, 18, 20, and 22 inches. I absolutely love it. Now, I did leave a brief review at the end of this video along with the final look, so you guys would get more information about this hair if you're interested in shopping with them. So if you're not new to this channel, you probably already saw my last sewing tutorial. If not, I'll go ahead and link it on the screen or in the description box. But in that video, I was just showing you guys how I use hair clips and pins to hold my wefts. And guys, let me just say that this has been a huge lifesaver. When I first started doing my sewings, it used to take me like 8 to 12 hours, if not more. It was so daunting and exhausting. I was like, I'm never gonna do this again. But with these little hacks, it has saved me so much time because I don't have to like stop and, you know, hold the wefts and try to do other stuff. I could just focus on sewing. It's just crazy how minor adjustments can make a huge difference in whatever you're doing. Another thing, I highly recommend that you guys thread your needles before you even start working. So thread 15, 30, as many needles as you need before you start sewing so that you don't have to constantly stop and thread, because that can add unnecessary time to this already exhausting process, okay? Back in the day, we used to have to do 50, 11 things just to do a sewing. Now, we're not doing all that, okay? It's 2023. There are easier ways to get things done. And here in this tutorial is where you will find the easy peasy hacks that will allow you to do this on yourself, save your money, and still look fly. Now we're at the important part of this install, so you guys definitely want to pay attention right here. So this is when I start to curve the track. So if you're watching this video and you're going step by step, here is where you want to curve your tracks. Now I prefer to wait until I get to the top section of my head to curve the tracks because I'm less likely to run out of hair. I know some stylists, they curve the track in the very beginning when they begin the install, but at times, depending on the type of hair that the client has or how many bundles they have, you're more likely to run out of hair because of the circumference of your head, if that makes sense. So I prefer to wait until I get to this part to do that whole curving thing. Also, I'm still using the same sewing techniques. I'm still looping the thread and needle around the tracks. Like I told you guys in the beginning, for the first couple of stitches, when you start to sew in a track, you want to make sure that the needle is going through the weft of the hair. Once you feel like the track is secure, then you can loop the thread and needle around the track. Like I'm doing right here. I'm having a little bit of a hard time, but yeah, and so nothing has changed. I'm still using the same sewing technique. Also, make sure that you guys maintain control of the needle as you're sewing in, especially if you like to thread long needles. So if you like your thread to be long, when you're pulling the needle and thread through the hair, sometimes the needle gets like tangled and then you get knots and you end up having to cut it and start all over, which can be super annoying. So a great way to avoid that is making sure that you have control of the needle and the thread as you're feeding it through the weft. Got the music me excited, coming like a potion. Blessings all for my life, man. My thank God for the journey, the earnings, and that's for the flops. Yeah, and gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I goes for the friends that take off every load. One time did sit down in a class and report, then only said the road and me go on with the road. Ghost, yeah, oh, in a rise and post. Another hack I want to share with y'all, okay? Follow me real quick. All right. So that area from the tip of your ear to your nape, you're going to sew in about 3 or 4 tracks. Now, that's double wefted, so make sure that your wefts are double when you're sewing them in. I sewed in 3 tracks in the back, and that was double, so I technically sewed in 6 tracks altogether, but again, I sewed in 3 layers, right. So now that's for the nape. Now, this top section, depending on the size of your head, you want to sew in maybe 6, 7 tracks. And half of that is going to be double and the other half is going to be single wefted. And of course, you're going to sew single wefts on the top section. So the last 3 or 4 tracks is when you want to transition into sewing single wefts. So that means 1 weft at a time and not doubled, because of course you want your installs to be extremely flat and flawless, right? So you don't want it to be bulky, so no doubling, especially when you get to the top. But depending on the size of your head, and this is just an easy 1, 2, 3 cheat code. So from the area from your nape, you want to sew in 3 to 4 tracks, double wefted, and then when you get above the ear, you want like the first 3 tracks above the ear, you want to still double those tracks. And then the last 3 to 4 tracks towards the top, single wefted, so that you can ensure that your sewing is completely flat. So that's a little hack, you know, a little easy 1, 2, 3, especially for my beginner girls. That's just something that you can, you know, put it in your back pocket. And then over time, when you get comfortable with doing these sew-ins and when you start taking clients even, you'll develop your own technique. So you may not even need to count the wefts and, you know, measure the head size and all this other stuff. By the time you get the hang of it, you'll develop your own system, your own techniques, and, you know, your own style of doing installs. So this video is just, and this hack is just like a 1, 2, 3 kind of beginner thing, just to get your foot in the door, just to get your feet wet with doing your own installs. And eventually, if you are someone who wants to take clients, at some point you'll be able to service clients as well. So now we've made it to the last track. The only thing that you would do differently here is to make the stitches closer together. And you're probably thinking that I could have added another track right there, but guys, these bundles from Queen Weave Beauty are super thick and it has a lot of hair on it. So I got really good coverage on the top, so I really didn't feel like I needed to add in another track before I added in this last one. So you guys will see towards the end how flat and full and seamless this whole entire install was. So stay tuned.
tell us the appointed time, because really and truly the appointed time is all on you. It's the appointed, that's gonna be the appointed time. That's gonna be when the fullness of time has come.
Hey guys, really quick, I wanted to come on here and tell you guys about this hair that I recently installed. By the way, my name is Nola. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So you guys know that I love my braids, but recently I've been switching it up and doing these sew-ins, which I absolutely love, but I have been running into a little bit of an issue with finding quality hair and hair that matches my hair. And I found this company on Instagram called Queen Weave Beauty. I installed their light Yaki texture, 18, 20, and 22 inches of their light Yaki texture, and guys, this hair is eating, okay? You cannot tell me that this is not my hair. Like, it blends in so well with, please ignore my grays. It blends in so well with my natural hair. This light Yaki texture gives you that bone straight sleek look, but at the same time it still gives you that texture. Another thing that I love is the natural luster and shine of the hair. This hair is not super shiny. Somehow, some way they were able to mix the two to where you get like that clean bone straight look, but you also get that textured feel and look, if that makes sense. Anyways, this is their packaging. Super cute. I'm going to show you guys what it came with. So this just shows all of their products and items that they provide, and they literally have every hair type that you can think of. Bone straight, body wave, kinky straight, kinky curly, like they have platinum blonde hair, like they literally have everything. They also have frontals, wigs, lace closures, clip-ins, tape-ins, all that stuff. They are very detailed. It comes with hair care instructions. They tell you how to maintain the hair, what products to use on the hair, what products not to use on the hair. This hair lasts up to 4 to 5 years with care, and so this instruction manual basically shows you and tells you how to maintain the integrity and the longevity of the hair, so that you're basically getting your money's worth. Because y'all know hair be a little pricey, but I don't mind paying if I know that I'm going to get a good return on my investment. So if you're telling me that this hair is going to last 4 to 5 years, I feel like that's a pretty good investment. Think about having to purchase hair every couple of months in that 1 year. You would have spent way more than what you wanted to. You can tell that they definitely thought about every need and concern that customers have. Last but not least, my favorite, it comes with a $50 coupon. So you know a company is legit if they're willing to give up money because they trust that much in their product. If you're looking for hair, if you're having a hard time finding quality bundles, quality hair, please check out Queen Weave Beauty. This is 100% virgin, non-processed hair. It lasts up to 4 to 5 years. You can curl it. As you guys can see, it holds a curl pretty well. It doesn't get tangled, it doesn't get matted. You can color it, you can dye it, you can bleach it. Oh yeah, and then shipping came in pretty quick. Like it took them no time to ship this hair off. I feel like it was like 4 to 5 days, which is pretty quick compared to other hair companies that I've shopped with in the past, which is no shade. People have different shipping times for different reasons. I particularly love that my hair took no time to come. So if you are looking for quality bundles, please check out Queen Weave Beauty. I'm going to link their information down in the description box below. But yeah, I absolutely love this hair. I feel like this is gonna be my little signature look. The middle part bust down. I do love my braids, so eventually I am gonna go back to my braids, but I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. But yeah, that's about it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Stay blessed.